Good morning to you. Welcome to Newsroom here on GHOne TV. I am Mohammed. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, a promise of a showdown as both the NPP and NDC climax campaigns ahead of the September 2 Akwatia by-election. Voters in the Diamond-Rich constituency are preparing to head to the polls and will be live with updates. Government reaffirms commitment to lasting peace in Sola Tuna Kalba after recent violent clashes. In business, Arusha, Ghana welcomes government's decision to revoke the controversial LI, opening forest reserves to mining. But the group insists repeal alone is not enough without strict enforcement. We have details of these and many others all in this belt. We are certainly your election hub. Hello again. The battle lines are drawn in Akwatia as voters in the Diamond-Rich constituency prepare to head to the polls on Tuesday, September 2 for the much anticipated by-election triggered by the unfortunate passing of the Member of Parliament, NST Alkumi. Both the governing NPP and the opposition NDC ended their campaigns with electrifying rallies over the weekend, each making a final pitch to win hearts and secure a crucial seat that could shift the numbers in Parliament. GHOne News' Abdul Hanan Adam has the highlights of the final campaign.
The top brass of the two dominant parties, the NDC and the MPP, flooded the diamond town of Akwatia in the Chambord district of the eastern region, shoulder to shoulder with their candidates, rallying supporters with fiery speeches and bold promises. For the ruling NDC, the by-election is a golden opportunity to flip the seat, while the MPP's mission is to hold the fort to prove its grip on the grassroots remains unshaken.
Papa John Mohammed, also been finding Crasso Cumremo, also Chiamunina, Wafibopa, Unaya, Anconia, Nazosenia Munim, Otukwa, Chichi, Japan, Etiama, Waye Kakra. It was been finding Cram Remo. Nemo Adia Hiani Titru, and he say Hamoa, Mumma lawyer, Mekane Huwa Abemu, Sebeya Munia Bibia, a beben so no Abeya Mamu.
People understand that the only way to reward and to remember our departed MP, NS Kumi, is for the people of Akwatia to vote massively for Solomon Kwame Asumadu. And that is why we have seen so many crowds here. And that is why we have seen so many cars following the float. It's organic. It's individuals cars that have decided to join because they know that the good work that was started by NS Kumi has to be completed by Solomon Kwame Asumadu.
From rallies that shook the streets to chants that lit up the night, the message was clear. Akwatia is more than a by-election. It is a battle of momentum, a test of strength, and a signal of what lies ahead for Ghana's political space.
We have a false start in these elections, and confidently, I'm telling you, mark my words, I can even tell you that if we lose this election, I'll resign as a member of parliament. I'm telling you, we'll win these elections. We'll win. If we lose these elections, I'll resign as a member of parliament. I'm telling you, we'll win. By close of day Tuesday, you see that we have won elections. And that's what, because I believe the work we have done and the God we serve. The God we serve is a good God, and He has given us hope that we win elections.
Mo pese Akwatia ko parliament no koye walkout ana. Mo pese Akwatia ko parliament no ko join the press conference team ana.
However, with an expected BRICS turnout, security is on high alert, but there's a seeming lack of trust given the chaos that erupted during the rerun of the Ablekuma North parliamentary elections.
We are going to protect every voter in this constituency and make sure, sir, Obia casting a vote. Abra and Tokwa NCA. We are law-abiding party.
But if some bad people are planning that for them to win, they have to come and engage in voter suppression. They want to come and misbehave. That's why we will not allow it. Nobody will. So we are also here in our full force. And by the grace of God, if they want a showdown, we are ready for a showdown.
But the NDC says it is focused on development and not insults and fighting.
Every Saturday, yeah, focus kosise brother, ya betu abanawie na die ntia ya ba no ye nsabeka na ya de lawyer akwa parliament eno ne ahwere obia beka ntokwa emfino wamu campaign no ayede atopziom.
Now with rallies over, Akwatia holds its breath. The noise of the campaign trail gives away silence of anticipation as the Diamond Town awaits the verdict of the ballot box on Tuesday. Reporting for GHOne News, Abdulhanan Adam, Bodia.
Now, the Minister for Communications and Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram, Samuel Neti George, is confident the NDC will secure victory in the Akwatia by-election. He told our news team the party is poised to win the seat, hands down.
On the 2nd of December, there's going to be a second endorsement of the NDC's good governance for lawyer Bernard, who is also the second on the ballot paper. So it's obvious. I mean, everywhere you go through town, we did a few church services today. At the point in time, one of the church services I came to Mamaga Jifa and asked her, is this a church service or a rally? Because it was separate that the church was dancing to. And what hit me was, they said, Mahama Beye. And so we are confident that the development that Akwatia needs will come to them with Lawyer Bernard as their Member of Parliament come next week, when he will hopefully be, or when Parliament resumes and he's sworn in. We would work with him to bring development. And from my ministry, I can already begin to point out some of the things. A community like Topreman, where network challenges were an issue, he reached out to us over the past week. We've rectified that immediately. The Chambo Senior High School has got some ICT equipment and all. So clearly, it shows you that Lawyer Bernard has access to government, and that will continue if the people of Akwatia give him the vote. And the people of Akwatia want only one thing: development. And there's only one person who can give them development, John Mohammed, NDC.
Well, I mentioned to you earlier that our news team is on ground and have been engaging residents of Akwatia who have told us what will inform their choice of vote. Listen to them.
In fact, it's we hope better election no ebeto di empe basa yobia and ye jidin to say basa yobia no ebesi. So we are hoping for the best. Akwatia de here ya kwan bebre na anye. Yeah, and we need more facilities and a juma soon ni kronim. It's yes, very impeniform saying I may adom na se do betin aba power no ombo na Akwatia entimintumpon.
Police phone waba no ye ni gisa waba osan say na esi o Ablekuma ntina aman hu bebre aka manfo say e bia basa besi e wa ha. The police phone waba no amba se mo so be basa mo ba se me boy ho ban nti mo wa ha ye ni ge se mo so waba na my boy home by now about one so across to Yamboa Echina. The president NDC. And then a very better say young Pinon so NDC and Ankabuan and Camputo and so of course
bibia koso fine dem I was say most no na me hunu wa ha ne say skirt and blouse na times no koso wa ha skirt and blouse so ma input no so en koso bebre e wo constituency ni mu
ye mo modin en koto abama lawyer number 2 ene na be boa yin
adetwa
say the entire mechanic ani say yesi ato abama John Mahama na so baba be di o mampani o Ghana Akwatia constituency ye nto na metu na John Mahama anya fam puntu emle enye obi sika ne ye hwehwe omo di sika ne ba ye betuma agi I am one person who to man two John Mahama. No from Dumlay, I could tell constituency. Now, Ghana and Pennyfort from never shall tell constituency. And young for GD to an moment John Mahama.
I said, no more catches and Toscat and Browns need now so to any. And they almost under no man or some catches. As soon as do I buy the any so. It is your Tomana, old to many. And Yano Cre Yafia Brenda, do more catches. As I sang catches and Pino, Echo and Chia, and yet. Yaman Pinenka Akwatia Musi. The Nadian Yakopad be in Nipo Bodian Musi. That's the Betuamana. That's a more Sankatres a Yan Tuntiana.
Or any Asumadu.
On any Asumadu. Then this for Mosambe Catres a Yan Tuntia Sumadua. Ni Antiaze. Monma Catres a Yaman Pinenka Bodia Kruma. Then Yakopado Fribodia Kruma, and that Yabetuatiano. Etian Tuntiano.
Pese, Owo Winnie, if it's Owo, what be a Dumama Miku, Etimicoba, Mamiam Nema, in Yabidi. Intermediate or China, they were warning, Nameko to a man.
Now, the Ghana Police Service also has assured residents of the Akwatia constituency of maximum protection during the upcoming election. The service has deployed more than 5,000 personnel, that the measure is not intended to intimidate voters, but to guarantee a peaceful, free and fair electoral process devoid of violence. Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service gave the assurance during community patrols in Akwatia.
As we've informed you, the Ghana Police Service has deployed massively to Akwatia, and our objective is to ensure that the election proceeds smoothly and we have a peaceful by-election. We are here to ensure the security of every person in Akwatia, including every person who will go out on the election day to vote. Once again, we want to assure you that if you see our men in town, just remember that we are here because of you. We are here because of your safety. We are here because of your security. As our Director General of Operations informed you the other day, our men are on the ground. Adequate vehicles have been deployed. Our mobile patrol teams are on. The Black Maria is also available. That is our mobile cell. We are here to ensure that everyone is safe. And we also once again want to throw a word of caution to those who want to foment trouble, that we are prepared for you and we'll deal with it according to. Today, as you witnessed, the community assurance patrols was conducted, and our commanders are also across all the various electoral areas doing community engagement, just to let the community know that we are here mainly to ensure security, law and order. People are speculating that some people are afraid they will come. No, we want everybody to know that the police stands for protection.
Let's head to the grounds and engage our man Abdul Hanan Adam, who is in Akwatia as we speak. Hanan, good morning to you. What is happening in Akwatia as we speak? I know that you've given us a lot of reports about how calm the atmosphere is, how prepared the security is, and how prepared both political parties are. But the Electoral Commission, we've not heard anything about them. Tell us what's happening on ground.
Well, so Lily, right about now, election materials has arrived here at the Coalition Center, and that is what is behind me at the moment. And so some of the electoral officers have also arrived, and the election materials have been taken into this particular building, which is going to serve as the Coalition Center for the all-important by-election here in the Akwatia constituency. And I must tell you, as at this moment, quite a number of police officers have been stationed here to ensure maximum security for the collation of the results after polls ends tomorrow at 5 p.m. And so this is the drill that is going on at the moment. So over 100 police officers have been lined up here at the Coalition Center, in the district capital, which is Akwatia, where they are expected to give them final instructions before the polls takes off tomorrow at 7 a.m. And so this is what is happening here at the moment. So you see quite a number of them drawn from various units of the Ghana Police Service, including the Form Police Unit, FPU, K9, and other. We also saw SWAT as well, who have been deployed here to ensure security. And so this is what is happening. So Lily, the Electoral Commission has also deployed 484 electoral officers who are expected to oversee the by-election here in Akwatia. And we have about over 52,000 voters who are expected to cast their ballots tomorrow. And we also have about 119 polling stations where this election is expected to happen. I also have 21 electoral areas, and we have quite a number of polling stations or electoral areas that are the strongholds of the MPP. And we can talk about the Takrase electoral area. We also can talk about Winchi, where the late NS Yaokome is coming from. And that is where yesterday the MPP held their final rally in the constituency. And we also talk about Apraman, which is also the stronghold of
Hanan, are these the 100 police personnel that are earmarked to man the collation center? Are these doing a simulation exercise? What's going on?
Exactly so, Lily. That is what they are doing. They are more than 100. They are more 100, and so they are engaged in a final simulation exercise before they are dispatched to manage their various areas in the constituency. And if you come into the Akwatia constituency, you are going to see a number of police checkpoints that have been erected, and you are going to also see a lot of military deployment that are on standby. Earlier, we were told that there's not going to be military, but we understand that the military are on standby to ensure that they provide some support service for the police where necessary. And this particular unit of the Ghana Armed Forces that have been deployed are the Operation Calm Life. We saw them with about 3 pickups patrolling the area to ensure that everything is safe. So the police, like I indicated, this behind me is one of the school parks here where there's a lot of activity. Officers have also been stationed on the pitch to ensure that they also provide other support services. So the plan is very simple for the Ghana Police Service, is to ensure a secure, safe electoral process come tomorrow. And that is what they are anticipating would happen. They have met with the various political parties, discussed with them what the modalities are in terms of the security arrangement, and cautioning them to conduct themselves in a manner that will not disrupt the elections. And also urging voters in the area to be calm when they see this huge number of police presence in the constituency. Earlier, residents were quite worried about the number of police vehicles and patrols they see in the constituency. But the police have engaged them, indicating that this is just to protect them, to ensure that the polls is being conducted in a peaceful manner. So later, Lily, the Peace Council is expected to meet the political parties and other stakeholders involved at the Akwatia Presbytery School, where they will hold a final talk before everybody retires back to their respective electoral areas and to their duty points, where we are expected to also be covering that particular event. And so, Lily, for now, this is what is happening. Electoral materials have arrived. 484 electoral officers have also arrived, and they would also be meeting the Director of Elections of the Electoral Commission, where they will also be taking their final instructions regarding what their duties are supposed to be tomorrow, Lily.
Earlier, that was yesterday, you engaged the police personnel, and they stated that their heavy presence is not to intimidate residents. But I know you've been engaging a number of residents. Are they intimidated by the heavy security presence? You mentioned not too long ago that there's also military presence on standby.
Well, rightly so. And I must say that following the engagement by the various assemblymen, including the Denchambor District Assembly, it appears that residents in the area are calm now. They understand why the police are in the area, especially in the main Akwatia township. And secondly, we also know that one of the flashpoints the police have identified is the Wenchi and Takrase, which appears to be the stronghold of the MPP. But the NDC is also moving into that area, or have already moved into that area over the last week, to ensure that they sell their message to the electorates. And that is where, or that Wenchi is where, the seeming or alleged scuffle between the national chairman and the national organizer of the NDC and some supporters of the MPP actually ensued, where we were told that the national chairman of the NDC was allegedly manhandled when they went to the 40 days observation of the death of NSC Yaokumi. So these are the areas that you will find a lot of heavy security presence. And I must tell you that there's another area, which is the Apraman, which is considered the NDC stronghold. The MPP also intends to break through that area to ensure that they garner enough votes for their candidates. And so these are some of the areas. About 4 have been identified, and the security services led by the Public Affairs Directorate have been engaging the transport unions, the trading community here in Akwatia, including the assembly members who are here to communicate to their respective electoral areas that the presence of the police is not to intimidate, but to provide security for the voters and the residents by extension tomorrow and on Wednesday as the election kicks in tomorrow morning, Lily.
All right, Hanan, thank you very much. Please be safe. Your safety is paramount to us. That's Abdul Hanan Adam. He's a man on the ground together with a team, Ibrahim Alassan and GHOne, who will be bringing us all the updates from Akwatia. I know that we are definitely your election. But let's hear from you out there, Ghanaians and citizens alike. What your thoughts are on Akwatia and the issues arising. Nana Akwa joins me with those thoughts on social media. Nana, what are people saying?
Well, Lily, the new jamming MP, as we are aware, has jumped on the trend and told everybody that if the NPP don't win at Akwatia, then he will resign. So we go to Facebook. Colin says his mouth is itching him. You also have Disco. I'm sure his constituency wishes he would resign, but he doesn't know how to go about it. Our next comment, we know you people, stop disturbing us. Even Nanado said he was going to put his presidency on the line. Then, ... Then we have Nona, resign. Ghana is sweet pass abroad. We also have come and say it was rigged, not a clear win. We also have Jonathan. Okay, EC, where are you? He's asking. Another by-election loading. We also have Akwatia. Hey, but do you think about the people's choice? Is not by force. Hey. Then we also have Milestone. Then he should start doing, because NPP is going to lose. We have a prophet there. We have Ehu Moses. Hey, this man is joking with his life. We have Babaid, who says, we will save our comments and that photo. And that is what you had to tell us. Well, it seems there, as I said earlier, is a trend of people offering up their seats because of certain issues going on. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Stick and stay with GHOne Television and Star FM, because we will surely bring you everything. Lily, back over to you.
Thank you very much. As well as starfm.com.gh, you have a lot of stories, a flow of them for you to read as well. Let's still stay on by-elections. Now, 12 aspirants have been cleared by the NDC vetting committee to contest in the Tamale Central parliamentary primaries. The aspirants include Abdul Hanan Abdul Rahman Gundado, former Tamale Metropolitan Chief Executive, Saidu Mohammed, Principal Research Assistant at UDS, Diplomat Mariama Nama Salifu, and Dr. Rahman Abdul Rashid. Others are Dr. Aliu Abdul Hamid, a civil engineer, Professor Razak Abubakar of Tamale Technical University, Alhaji Al Hassan Mbalba, former NDC UK Ireland chairman, and Professor Ali Dusedu, former head of political science at the University of Ghana. The vetting panel, chaired by NDC Deputy General Secretary lawyer Barbara Sewa Samoa, wrapped up its work on Sunday, August 31, and gave the green light to all 12 aspirants. The primaries are scheduled for Saturday, September 6, 2025 at the Aliyu Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale. In a statement, lawyer Samoa praised the caliber of the contenders, noting the inclusion of professors, lawyers, doctors, and diplomats, and described the participation of 3 competent women as a refreshing development. The NDC has since urged all aspirants to conduct peaceful, issue-based campaigns devoid of personal attacks. And as always, we tell you that we are definitely your election hub. Now, the Greater Accra Regional Police Command has launched an investigation into violent clashes that erupted during the climax of the Homowo Festival at Anya and Sotom on Saturday, August 30, 2025. Preliminary reports indicate the violence stemmed from a misunderstanding between 2 rival groups during the sprinkling of traditional food leading to gunfire. 3 people have died and 4 others sustained injuries and are receiving treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and Rage Hospital. Police say additional personnel have been dispatched to restore calm, with intelligence-led operations underway to arrest those behind the attacks. Authorities are urging traditional leaders and their supporters to adhere strictly to agreed security measures to maintain peace. Emmanuel Kuting is a security analyst and he joins me via phone. Still morning. Good morning to you, sir. And how are you doing?
Thank you. This is not Emmanuel Kuting. This is Mr. Pierre.
Okay, we'll reach out to you again. Thank you very much. The news returns after this break.
You will love it here.
Welcome back from that break. We do apologize for that mix-up earlier. But let's speak to Emmanuel Kuting, who is a security analyst, and he joins me by phone. Mr. Kuting, good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon and very good afternoon to your cherished viewers as well.
Let's look at the issues happening within the gas state. Some people have raised concerns that it is gradually becoming endangered. Are their concerns legitimate?
Well, very legitimate. If you look at Ghana from January to this time, I think there seems to be a breakdown law and order. If you do an assessment of the entire country and the way conflicts are popping up everywhere, it looks as if there's a breakdown of intelligence. And mostly when there's a change of government, these things happen because of how politicized our security architecture has been, especially when there are changes in the security heads. You know that more often than not, they rely on informants by way of intelligence gathering. I think this administration has been very slow in propping up those avenues by way of intelligence gathering. If you look at what happened in Tishi and the other place during the Homowo festival, it's not something so pleasant to speak about. I think that it's about time we look at how we can streamline our festivals. Then we don't allow our traditional authorities to bear weapons during such festivals. Don't forget, our festivals attract tourists, both local and international. So if our festivals are beginning to record casualties, a time will come when there will be festivals and no one will want to come around. And by essence, we are is a country that is losing. And you know there's a festival up north, the Damba festival that is also coming up. And looking at the tension up north, I would have pleaded with government. So as a matter of agencies, collaborate with stakeholders of these festivals not to allow the traditional authorities to bear weapons. Don't also forget, Accra is the capital town of Ghana. So if some of these things are happening in Accra, it doesn't speak well of the country. So I'm calling authorities to, as a matter of agency, do everything within its powers to arrest the perpetrators. Otherwise, we can be sure of reprisal attacks. So the panacea to put in a hole or a stop to some of these things temporarily and kick in the peace-building mechanism is to make sure that those who perpetrated this crime are swiftly arrested and put before the courts.
All right, Mr. Kuting, but let's look at the security architecture in the country. Does it also appear that there's lack of trust?
I don't think it's about trust. What is trust? You build trust. And more often than not, when there's a change of government and security heads are changed, there's always a breakdown in the line of gathering intelligence. It's left with the new security heads to institute mechanisms in place to make sure that intelligence are gathered. Some of these things don't happen in a vacuum. Especially the Techi incident happened, and we didn't take you from that. And another one also happened a few days later. So that's why I'm saying that it's a total security failure in terms of intelligence gathering. And you see, that is the by-election Akwatia. You see, the IGP came out to say he was sending 5,000 men to Akwatia. And some of us were sounding the alarm bells that to what cost or to what expense, what is the opportunity cost to the rest of the country? So you see that because the entire country security architecture is over-concentrating on Akwatia, we have looked away from the other angle. Look at our roads, for Christ's sake. This year alone, the number of people who have died on our roads. All this goes to affect the human security index of the country. So I think that the President of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has to sit up because these incidences are becoming one too many. And recently you heard what happened around the Benayiri area, in the solar, All these things are security failures. So, and we have the systems in place. Look at the number of intelligence agencies we have. They are one too many. So I don't know whether they are sleeping on the job or it's politics as usual. Okay. So it's not presenting Ghana's image internationally well. And I was not surprised that the latest peace index, we have dropped about 10 at the global level. And in Africa, we've dropped from 2nd to 7th. That is so alarming. And government must take steps to make sure that these things don't repeat itself at all.
Okay. Mr. Kuting, thank you very much, as always, for speaking to us. That's Emmanuel Kuting. He is a security analyst. Now, nursing and allied health training students have welcomed government's decision to slash admission fees by half, describing it as a major relief for struggling families. This follows government's announcement that the state will absorb 50% of all approved fees for first-year students under a new no-fee stress policy beginning of the 2025-2026 academic year. The Health Ministry also cautioned that no institution should charge above the approved amount or demand payments already covered by the policy. According to the statements, the initiative fulfills President John Dramani Mahama's pledge to ease the financial burden on parents and students pursuing careers in health. Principals of training institutions have been warned to comply with the directive or face sanctions. We've been joined by the president of the trainee nurses, Nashiruddin Akbaibu. Thank you very much for joining us, Nashir. Is this welcoming news for you?
Pardon?
I'm asking if this news is welcoming enough for you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Like you said, my name is Nashiruddin Akbaibu, and I'm the president for the Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association. We so much appreciate the gesture of the government to slash down the fees of the trainee nurse and midwife by 50% in regards to first-year students. We are so much appreciative of this gesture. We believe it's going to go a long way to ease the financial burdens on students as well as parents. And it will go a long way to enhancing the students to be able to focus on their studies without having to bother if they will be able to write their end-of-term exam or not. So we are so much appreciative of it. However, we are also hoping and urging the government that it should not just be a one-time gesture that they are showing to the nurse midwife and nurse midwife trainees, but it should be something that would be sustainable or something that they will sustain in the near future.
What else would you expect government to do for you, trainee nurses, to ensure that your stay in your various institutions are enjoyable?
Okay, thank you very much. We believe that the slashing of the fee itself, though is not the best, but we believe that it's a step towards the right direction, because there are other fees that we pay in terms of feeding fee, in terms of hostel accommodations, and all those are also burdens on us as student nurses and midwives. And so for the government to slash down our tuition fee for first year by just 50% is not entirely the best, but we believe it's a step towards the right direction. So we are urging them that going forward, they should try as much as possible. If not for anything, they should absorb the tuition fee wholly so that we would also focus on paying the feeding fees as well as the hostel facilities as well. And we are urging that they should do follow-up to ensure that principals or heads of institutions do not charge extra. We, on our part, are also ensuring that local SRC executives do the needful by keeping the administration on its toes to not charge any student extra fees apart from the stipulated fees by the government. And we are also urging the government that we understand that they have regularized the payment of our allowances. However, this month, the recent month, that is the month of August, student nurses and midwives are so much anticipating the payment of our allowance, and it's not yet in. So we are asking questions. What's happening? The government promised to pay us our allowance at the end of every month. However, the month of August has passed, and we are yet to receive our allowance.
So Nashu, let me get this point right. Nashu, let me get this point right. Does it mean that from January, all your allowances have been paid?
Yes, exactly. Okay. From January to July, our allowances have been paid. But the recent month, which is the month of August, we are yet to receive our allowances.
When are you usually paid your allowances?
Pardon?
When are you usually paid your allowances?
The allowances are usually paid through the Ministry of Health.
When? I mean, within the month. When are you usually paid?
Okay, at the end of the month, actually. From the beginning of the month up to June, we received it. From January to June, we received all of it on the month of June ending. Okay, and July, we received it on the ending of July as well. However, this month ending, we're expecting it yesterday, but it did not come true. And so people are beginning to ask questions. And we believe the government made a promise to pay us our allowance at the end of every month, but we are still waiting on them. We don't know what's happening. They should give us an update. Why have we not received our allowance of August yet? We are waiting for a response, please.
Okay, but have you engaged on timelines on when you will be paid? Have you asked questions so far? I know it's just a day after we ended August, but obviously as trainee nurses, you would need your allowances.
Exactly. It's just a day after the month of August, and we are still waiting, giving the government that brief period to either update us on what is happening, or we would also do our follow-up to see what has delayed or what has caused the government to not pay us our allowances.
All right. Nashu, thank you very much for speaking to us. But are you also concerned, I don't know if you're gone, are you also concerned about employment after training? I know that you're patting the government on the back for slashing the fees, but are you also concerned about employment being absorbed into the system right after training?
Of course, it is a concern that a lot of students are having. We are in our training processes, not sure if we are going to get employment after our training process, because we know for a fact that there are lots of nurses who have qualified and they are still seated at home waiting for the government to employ them. And so all these are anxieties that the student nurse and midwives are having. We are expecting that the government are not just making steps towards reducing the financial burdens on us in terms of fees for the training process, but they are also putting in measures to curb the situation of unemployment for students, for nurses who have graduated and are currently seated at home for almost 2 to 3 years, if not more. So we are urging the government that this should not just be a plan to reduce the stress in terms of fees, but also they are making plans to ensure that after our training process, we also get employment to keep ourselves running.
All right. Nashu, thank you very much. That's Nashu Akwatia. He is the president of the Association of Trainee Nurses and Midwives. This is Newsroom. I'm back shortly. Please stay tuned in. You're welcome back from that break. This is still Newsroom here on GHOne TV, and I am Lily Mohammed. Now, government has reaffirmed its commitment to lasting peace in the Sola Tuna Kalba district following recent clashes. A high-level delegation led by the Minister for the Interior met with the overlord of the Gonjaland Kingdom to find lasting solutions to the violence. He urged cooperation to ensure the presidential directive for peace is achieved.
The Minister for Interior, Mohammed Mubarak, led a delegation to the overlord of the Gonja Kingdom, Yagbonrua B. Kunotu Jeuswale I, to discuss strategies for peace. The meeting, held behind closed doors at the Yagbonrua's palace, focused on addressing the violence that has claimed lives, destroyed properties, and displaced thousands. After the meeting, the Minister for Interior reaffirmed government's resolve to restore calm in the Sola Bole enclave, but stressed the need for cooperation from all stakeholders.
Tents is coming, we are getting tents and all that. And then we are hopeful that, by the grace of God, as His Royal Highness have assured us, maybe very soon they may be able to return back to their home. So you can be rest assured that yes, we are concerned, we are worried about our own citizens and the displacement. Yes, but we are taking concrete steps, and a lot of things are being done to ensure that they are not left to their fate. But government is making an effort to go to their need.
He also reviewed the reinforcement of security deployments, particularly along Ghana's northern borders with Burkina Faso and Côte d'Ivoire.
Like you said, we've touched that note to get us the accurate numbers every day. Because, I mean, as you know, some have been displaced internally, others have been displaced across our borders, others are even in other regions. So we are trying to get the exact number, and then we'll see exactly what can be done.
Authorities are hopeful that the combined efforts of traditional leaders, government, and security agencies will pave the way for sustainable peace in the troubled area.
It's now time to bring you the latest update in business.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
In business news this afternoon, a Deputy National Coordinator of Arusha, Ghana, Daribosu, has welcomed the news from the Acting Minister for Environment, Emmanuel Amakufibua, that he's getting rid of the legislative instrument 2462 and its amended version LI 2501. Though he's pleased with the development, he believes that the government needs to ensure the strict compliance and enforcement of the laws, and that is not enough to just repeal them. Otherwise, it will be a waste of time.
It is good to have laws, but if you have the laws and you also don't have the commitment to really ensure that these laws are respected and not flouted, then you are really having a problem. And I must say that even when it comes to mining in forest reserves, Act 703 already is very clear about excluding forest reserves from mining in all its entirety. So it is really shocking that over the years it become a common practice for the Minerals Commission to be issuing licenses in certain forest reserves and all of that, and to follow up with an LI which was actually confirming government's posture that they are in full support of allowing mining in forest reserves, and that was the reason why they came out with some guidelines. So I agree, the law is important, getting rid of the law is important, but if we don't ensure strict enforcement and compliance with the processes, with the existing legal framework in the country, we will be wasting our time. So it is not enough to just repeal. We must also take steps to ensure that even for mining companies who issue licenses in some of these reserves, we take the necessary steps to also revoke those licenses and then take steps to restore our forest. Because at the end of the day, it is the mischief of allowing mining in forest reserves that we want to cure, so we can really ensure that all our forest reserves are restored and they're really sustaining their ecological integrity over the years. Other than that, it's just going to be a waste of time, as we did with the amendment process that was commenced. Somewhere in the year, it got amended. Now we say, okay, let's repeal.
That should do for the business news. Up next is the latest update in sports with Nana Ama Ajiman.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Hi there, I am Nana Ama Ajman. The Black Stars will open camp in Accra today, Monday, September 1, 2025, ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Chad and Mali. The team will train at Accra Sports Stadium today and tomorrow, departing Accra for Chad on Tuesday evening for Matchday 7 fixture on Thursday, September 4, 2025. Ghana will come up against Chad on Thursday, September 4th, 2025, before returning home to host Mali on Monday on September 8th at Accra Sports Stadium. Now, Kumasi Asante Kotoko head into the new season with renewed confidence after urging BBN Gold Stars 1-0 to lift the Champions of Champions title on Sunday at the Dance Park in BBN. Gold Stars last season Ghana Premier League winners faced the FA Cup holders in a keenly contested clash that promised more than silverware as both teams sought momentum ahead of the league kickoff on September 12. Fresh from winning the Gal Cup top 4, the Miners entered as favourites while Kumasi Asante Kotoko had failed to win a game in the preseason tournament, yet it was the Porcupine Warriors who prevailed. The victory secured Kotoko's 4th Champions of Champions crown, boosting Coach Karim Zito's side ahead of their CAF Confederation Cup campaign, while BBN Gold Stars must regroup for their Champions League challenge. That is all for sports here on Newsroom. I am Nana Ama Ajman. Back to you, Lily.
Thank you very much for that sports updates. Let's head to the entertainment zone, shall we? Queued in the morning or even late at night for a taste of rice and stew that lingers in your memory, you have likely stumbled upon the magic of Zongo rice and stew. This beloved dish draws people from across the town, across the world, diverting their diet plans and inspiring pleas for seconds. In this report, GHOne News' reporter Zuleha New visited Nima to uncover the secrets of Zongo stew.
Zongo stew, a culinary treasure in Ghana, stands out in its rich, spicy flavor, unlike any restaurant offering. The secret, as revealed by Haja Ngoya, a food vendor in Nima, lies in a meticulous craft beyond mere cooking. Under this makeshift kitchen is where all the natural spices are mixed in this old pot of oil. Stirring of the stew or mixes, Haja's expertise transforms simple ingredients into an irresistible dish. She shared the skill and artistry of cooking Zongo stew with the news team.
Spices in the money, I shake it way. So I was a minimum and Pakushito no any spices in there different. So endorse ebia kakra. I do control say I light no ebe chinsa amakoye tea. If say the nam so ye chin nam no ya. Chicken any nantri nam no na edin so no agwo.
Adding depth, spice vendor Hajia Asia emphasizes the unique blend of natural spices, dried onions, cloves and bay leaves which work in harmony like a well-coached football team to earn a stew its Zongo title.
Nyama stew yede pie in kitty any rosemary. So you so mage kra no a now you soon kitty kra na eh okay. And I must stew near there. You may see rosemary ni kitty any star any coriander seed any fina seed any pepper kakrabi udiaba kakrabi any bay leaf near the stew.
For enthusiasts, it's more than food. It is joy in every bite. They describe Zongo rice and stew as the reason diet plans fail, owing to its unforgettable taste.
What you get here, you could get food here for 50 to 70 cedis, and you go to the restaurant, you get it for 200 cedis. But it tastes better than the ones in the restaurant. We know the spices, I tell you. If you like go everywhere here in Accra, taste every food and come to Zongo and come and taste ours, you will feel it.
Very nice. That's my best idea. And it is even difficult for me to stay on my diet.
So the next time your colleague brags about that one corner joint stew that hits harder than a Nelson punch, don't argue, just follow the aroma. Chances are it will lead you straight to a Zongo pot. Zulay Hanuhu reporting for GHOne News in Sanford.
Very demure.
This is coming in. Received the first report of the Article 146 Committee of Inquiry, which is probing 3 petitions seeking the removal of Chief Justice GHOne Sabasaki-Tokuno. Presenting the report at a brief ceremony at the presidency, the committee's chair, Justice Gabriel Pwaman, said the panel conducted its work in camera in line with Article 146 Clause 7 and 8 and refrained from public commentary despite blatant false statements made about members of the committee and their work. In-camera proceedings are not the same as in secret, he noted, explaining that limited procedural details could be shared without disclosing the substance. On the first petition filed by Daniel Ofori, the committee heard evidence from 13 witnesses on behalf of the petitioner. The Chief Justice, who also testified and was cross-examined, called 12 witnesses, including experts. In all, the panel received about 10,000 pages of documentary exhibits from both sides. Each side was represented by 4 lawyers. After critical and dispassionate examination and assessment of all evidence, including the expert evidence against the provisions of the Constitution and the relevant laws, we have, this is according to Justice Gabriel Pwaman, we have, without fear or favor, arrived at a recommendation on the first petition. The chair said before handing the recommendation to the president in a sealed envelope. The chair disclosed that the second petitioner, as well as the Chief Justice, requested an adjournment of the second petition, which the committee granted. Now, accordingly, we shall be reporting on the second and third petitions in due time. So there you have it. The committee working on the petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice have submitted their report to the President, John Dramani Mahama, as the Constitution demands. Okay, so that's by way of breaking news for you that the committee looking into petitions presented against the Chief Justice for her removal have submitted the final report to President John Dramani Mohammed this morning at the Jubilee House. We'll bring you more. We'll do further analysis of this later in subsequent bell. That should do for the news. I am Lily Mohammed. For more news updates, kindly log on to starfm.com.gh on behalf of the entire team led by Emmanuel Ejabing there to me. We say thank you very much for watching. Good afternoon.